We have reached the end of a cycle and we are currently transitioning into a new one. The end of a cycle refers to the final point of a regularly repeated sequence of events, a developmental phase, or a specific period of time. It represents the completion of one phase and the transition to a new one. We as humanity are at that point. Let's go back to the beginning of the end. We are referring to Pluto entering the sign of Capricorn, which happened in 2008. Coincidentally, for those who remember, that was the year of the stock market collapse, followed by a global financial crisis. Rescue packages for Greece and Portugal were necessary to keep those countries and the European Union running. In the US, the world's largest economy, millions of people lost their homes, along with additional side effects that started a decline in the standard of living, which continues to the present day. Every crisis has a purpose. The crisis we are referring to was an indication that the global financial system had reached the end of its usefulness. The governments and global institutions in charge of managing it should have taken notice and developed a new system, a new currency, a new system of valuation, a new banking system, something different from before. Instead, they took the approach of reviving a dead concept, creating a bubble and a debt situation that today no country in the world can pay, not even the US. The pandemic of 2020 revealed the second cycle that had reached its end, the global institutions. In the same way that the UN cannot prevent or stop any armed conflict in the world, the WHO's response to the virus was to keep everyone inside to prevent its spread. For those not aware, this was a practice used in the Middle Ages under similar circumstances. The World Bank and the IMF loan money to countries at interest rates that can never be repaid, for which they provide additional loans just to pay the interest. Debt that can never be paid is a chimera. I could go on, but I believe you get the picture. We don't reach the end of a cycle from one day to the next. In the Great Flood, it rained for 40 days before it stopped, and then it took a while for the waters to settle. It's a process. It takes time, and things happen in sequence one after another until it is done. How long is the process? Astrology is a good GPS for understanding the time frame. In astrology, the sign of Aries signals new beginnings. The astrological new year begins when the sun enters 0 degrees of Aries, which coincides with the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere. In the human body, Aries corresponds to the head, and the sequence descends until it ends with Pisces at the feet. The conjunction of Saturn and Neptune, both at 0 degrees of Aries, took place on February 20th, 2026. The reason we mention this is that the last time it happened was in 4361 BCE, approximately 6,387 years ago. We can only speculate about what happened then, but we can have an idea of what could happen this time. But it was not only Saturn and Neptune this time. Both planets were in sextile with Pluto, planet of transformation, and Uranus, planet of quick changes. A sextile to both of these planets provide additional energy encouraging a change. Saturn rules structures, institutions, organizations, and restrictions. It is the ruler of Capricorn, an earth sign. Neptune rules inspiration, creativity, the subconscious, and unconditional love, and also escapism, addiction, and deception. The quick analysis of the astrological consequences of this alignment is that structures, all formal structures, will undergo significant change in shape, components, form, and management under the influence of Neptune providing inspiration and creativity. But as history has taught us, no change of this magnitude happens at a negotiating table. Change is the consequence of an uncontrollable crisis. Structures collapse to the point where they cannot be reconstructed. Even though this alignment took place in February and we are now in July, there is an event that could trigger the predicted outcome, the solar eclipse of August 12th.